So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Subnautica update video. First off, I just want to say sorry, it's been a few days since I've uploaded. I've been busy with college and other stuff going on, but I'm back today with some pretty cool new updates. So the first one that I just showed you there was the electrical defense for the Seamoth. So I think I tried using it on an enemy last episode, but it wasn't fully working, but I think it's safe to say that it does work now. So basically you hold down the left mouse button to charge up the electrical defense, and it gives any enemies a bit of a shock and they flee once they've been zapped, so they don't stick around and attack you anymore. So I'm not 100% sure if this is going to work on bigger creatures, but I might test that later on once I've finished. But there you go, you can see that that guy doesn't want to stick around once he's been shocked. I'm pretty sure after a few times of being shocked you can actually kill the enemy, so that is pretty cool. You know, so if they keep going back to pest you, you can just say, right, that's enough, you're gonna die. But anyway, the other thing I showed you just there at the start was the torpedoes, which I have shown you on the last episode, but they've sort of changed how they work now. So here, if you have, well, I'll show you this first. So obviously I have two of the torpedo systems installed on my Seamoth, which I've put so they're up here, because they can be below as well if you have like 4 installed. So like, to load up the torpedoes you have to click on here and load them into here. So you can on the fabricator, which I'll show you in a sec, you can create the torpedoes now, and then you simply just middle mouse button them into the slots of each torpedo system, and then they're ready to fire. So you can carry per torpedo system 4 torpedoes, which is pretty good amount. It's not overkill, but does the job. So that's pretty cool, and I'll show you that in a sec when I go into my moon pool, because I also want to show you what, if you haven't already noticed, is the colour of my Seamoth is now 2 colours, which, fair to say, it looks pretty badass, doesn't it? Red and black, and you can't see it from here, but my Cyclops is a matching colour. There you go. So yeah, let's take a look inside the moon pool now, and I'll show you the few other new things that have been added. There we go. But before I do that though, I just want to show you, I was doing it earlier.
All systems online. Torpedoes armed. Torpedoes armed.
There you go.
Torpedoes
so
armed.
If you equip the torpedoes, they actually give you a message to say that the torpedoes are armed, and I think if I just quickly drain the remaining torpedoes that are left in this one.
Torpedo systems disengaged.
There you go. So when you run out of ammo, it tells you that that torpedo system is disengaged, but obviously
Torpedoes armed.
I have a second one, so it tells you that I've armed those.
Torpedo systems disengaged.
And then when I try and go back to the other one, it tells me again that it's disengaged, so it tells you quite clearly that you've run out of ammo. And also I noticed there's a little sort of beeping sound, like the Seamoth has been recognised by this docking system. It gives you a little beep to say that that's been activated, and it'll pull you up into the moon pool. So if I now go over to this, you can see now that they've added the ability to change all the colours. So I'll just give you an example. So you can change, do it by here. You see, you can change the base colour, and then the name, you can change the colour of the text, and also the interior of the Seamoth as well. So if you have a bright green Seamoth on the exterior and you want it the same colour in the interior, you can do that, or a completely different colour. So it's pretty cool, and you can also change the stripes There's that one there, and that one there. So that's pretty cool. I am just going to change it back to the colour I had though. I'll change that to black. Okay, so there we go. It's pretty cool, that, don't you think? So yeah, if I take a look here at the fabricator, I obviously showed you all this last episode, but no, actually, I didn't. I don't think I did, you know, tell a lie. I don't think I showed you this. They have like subsections now, so you have the general assorted Seamoth upgrades here, and they've changed a few of the names, like the pressure compensator now, instead of the depth module, and they've changed a few of like the descriptions and the ingredients to create those. You can see that, and there's also the hull reinforcement, which hardens the chassis preemptively before collision, so it eliminates damage under normal conditions. That's only 2 titanium, so it's not a lot to build really. And then you have your torpedoes here, which leads me to believe, now that it has its own little subsection, that there's going to be a few, maybe a handful of different types of torpedoes. So maybe there's obviously the vortex one, which I've just shown you, and when you create that, that actually gives you 3 torpedoes. But yeah, I think they're probably looking at that, going to add a few different types of torpedo, which I'm excited to see what they are, because I don't think they probably wouldn't give it a separate little menu if it was just the vortex one. Maybe I'm not sure, but we'll see. Hey, so I also need to just double check I have the solar charging. I don't, so if I just swap that out for that, there's something I need to have a look at in a second with that one. And yeah, I think that's it. So if I go out here now, I think they've tweaked it. I think on the last episode I did say that the solar charging module wouldn't be as overpowered. I think because I've got no cost on it, might not drain my battery. So if I get rid of that, I'll tell you what, I'll use the electrical defense to sort of drain my battery a little bit. So it does drain quite a lot of energy, that. So there you go. You can see the higher up I get to the surface, the quicker that energy percentage is rising. But what I wanted to test is, apparently if you go inside a cave or a dark spot, that solar charging ability decreases. So if I go in here,
passing safe depth.
Yeah, you can see that it's slowed down quite a lot. It's sort of stopped on 93 now that I've entered a cave. So it's actually quite reactive to sunlight now. So if you go in to deep areas like this, obviously you're not going to be able to charge a Seamoth with the solar charge. So maybe a good way to combat that would be to maybe have the I can't remember the name of it now. It's the power module, so you don't drain your power as quickly. So it might be a good one if you're going on long explorations in deep waters. So there's that, and you could also probably add the depth module as well. So if you are going into deeper waters, then you've got the ability to go deeper and also keep your power levels quite high, so you don't drain them and run out of energy inside a cave and get lost. And if you don't have enough oxygen, you could probably drown. So that's not good. So if I just jump out real quick here, I'm gonna need that. Hold on. If I just equip my knife for a second here. So I think now, if that's actually damaging it, I'm not sure, but I've got a feeling that because I got no damage on, there we go. was slightly damaged. So there was sparks. Once you had a damaged Seamoth, there was. I'm not sure why it's not doing it now. There's leave me alone, man. Oh, come on. There you go. Go on. I'm trying to film here. Well, I was going to show you, there was sparks. Once you had a damaged Seamoth, they'd be in the cockpit and stuff. So maybe that's just not activated right now. Obviously, you've still got the particle effect there. And I think there's cracked glass as well, sort of chipped glass there, as you can sort of see. I'm probably just going to have to reactivate no damage though, just because this guy won't leave me and my Seamoth alone. So, what I'll do is I'm just going to park this back up for a sec.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I'm not sure if that's working. Can you repair that whilst it's docked? You can't. Okay. Oh, hello. There's a bit of a bug there. There we go. Okay, so there's that. And there's also a little interesting bug with the power glide. I don't know if this is going to be a permanent thing, but like, sort of as you can probably see as you look around, especially up and down, it's kind of like your power glide stays in the same place, but your head doesn't, and then when you go fully down, your power glides there, and it's sort of, I don't know whether they're trying to make it so like you can look around whilst using the power glide sort of thing. So instead of, usually if you look up, you would take your power glide with you. Maybe they're trying to do it so you have to, I'm not sure, do you know what I'm getting at? Like, so you can just look around but carry on going straight forward, sort of like how it is now. But look around, but I don't know, maybe that's just a bug, or they haven't finished doing that properly, so yeah, but maybe that'll get sorted soon. Because there's also another one, well, looking at the feedback screen there, usually this is all options to tick and you can see the background there, but it's all a blank screen, and it's the same with like the builder menu and stuff. There's a bit of an issue going on with that, but like I said, that's probably not a permanent issue, so yeah. What I want to show you as well is because they did deactivate this for a little bit, but I think they've put it back up. The field of view, so from where I am you can see the new island there, on the mountains biome, and you can also see the floating biome over there in the distance, so I hope they keep that in the game, because it's nice to be able to see where those are physically rather than having to sort of search for them until you get really close. So yeah, there's that. And what I promised, I'm going to get my Seamoth back out and spawn in a Reaper Leviathan, let him grab my Seamoth, and see if letting him grab me and using the electrical defense is actually going to deter him from holding on to me. So let's go ahead and jump in on here.
All systems online.
There's also sort of, I don't know if you noticed that as well, there's like a new little sound effect there just at the end of the Seamoth sound effects. It's kind of like an extra sound added onto the voiceover. It's kind of like a sound of you shutting the top and sitting down or something, like your suit rubbing against the inside, but yeah, little things like that just make it seem more immersive. But let's spawn this Reaper. There he is. Okay, so that's still an issue with the spawning of the Reaper in the Seamoth. There he goes. There's obviously still quite a few issues. This is experimental mode, by the way, if you don't know that I already play on experimental mode. Where's this guy gone? I'm gonna have to spawn another one, because no idea. Maybe if I go a little bit higher. Okay. Well, let's give him a go. Okay, quickly. Come on, Reaper. Maybe if I shoot him with the torpedo.
Torpedo systems disengaged.
Here we go. Has he got me? Okay, charging. Charging. No. Okay, so he did let go, but I don't know whether that was because of the electrical defense. So I'm going to give that another go. Well, I'm not sure. Let's see if he'll grab me again. Oh, he just disappeared into the dark there. Oh! His friend came out of nowhere. Okay, so I've shocked him, and he appears to have let go, so I think currently that it is working. Maybe that'll get tweaked or not. I'm not sure, but that's handy, because usually when a Reaper grabs your Seamoth, you're helpless, and there's absolutely nothing you can do until he wants to let go. Then he's pretty much, it's up to him, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Now he just seems to be leaving me alone. Maybe he's like, okay, this guy's got some tricks up his sleeve. I don't like electricity and I'm surrounded by water. I'm going to leave him alone. So I'm going to quickly try this as well. I think they updated the sounds for this. Maybe my Steam didn't update that part. But on the check-ins it says that the terraformer sounds have been updated. So knowing my luck, I'll come off Subnautica and it'll be there in that next update, because I don't think every time they release an update it goes straight onto Steam automatically. I think there's like a little waiting period before they go onto Steam after they release the update to the developers, so maybe that'll be part of my next episode, but there you go. So I did update my base a little bit as well. I've got a little bit coming off my side of my moon pool there, just where I can park my Cyclops and exit and go into my base this way. I've just been sort of well, that went well. I'm hoping there's an entryway somewhere that I can get in. Well, that's good. There may be a way around this. If I believe I'm stuck. All I was gonna say was that I've put a few signs around my base and stuff, just so I know where stuff is more than anything, and sort of been just mixing it up a little bit really. So obviously my base is getting a little bit complex. It's nothing huge, but it's just easier to know where things is, and I've got all these signs sort of scattered around, so if I come into an entry I'm not really overly familiar with, I can just pinpoint where I'm going if I add anything onto my base, instead of having to sort of walk around. Yeah. So, apart from that, that is pretty much everything that I've got to show you today, guys. So, I thank you again for watching. And I also just want to add that there is a few people commenting on my videos. I do reply literally to nearly every single comment that I get, but there is a few people that comment quite regularly, and for some reason YouTube, for whatever reason, just doesn't let me reply to your comments. I think one of you that comments, your YouTube name is enter your name or enter name here or something like that. Someone goes out to you or anyone else that I just don't reply to. It's simply because YouTube doesn't have the reply button under your comments, so I apologise if you are one of those people. I'm not being ignorant. I do try my very best to comment on everyone's comments, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's you're watching my videos. I'm making the effort to talk to me, so yeah, all I can say is I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening there. Maybe I'll have a look later and see if there's any way around it that I can like reply, or maybe comment on one of your videos and just tell you. But yeah, there's that. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, take it easy.